everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday Night Racing Series presented by Shoney's here on iRacing. As we get ready here at the Diamond in the Desert, that's right, we're here at Phoenix Raceway. This was supposed to be an off week this week, unfortunately due to unforeseen circumstances with iRacing's update last week. It got pushed out a little bit longer than we thought it was going to, but we are here. We are live, and we got about a minute and a half before we get racing underway here at Phoenix. Let's take a look at the points coming into tonight. We see Jonathan Jennings up at the top of the leaderboard. Michael Hayes sits back in second. Justin McMahon, Christopher Leftwich, and Kevin Brown make up your top three. I'll leave this on the screen so you can see your favorite drivers. A couple big movers through the field. You see Gary Mio up 7 spots, up into the 14th spot. And then Jason Palmer losing 16 spots, falling back to 21st. But some other pretty big movers and losers throughout the last couple weeks as well. But you can see exactly where your favorite drivers are in the point standings. Top of the leaderboard, no surprise here. We have the 91 of Jonathan Jennings. Christopher Simon, John Smith, your top 3 on the charts right now. But anything can happen, as we saw in the real Phoenix race this past weekend. Anything can really happen here at Phoenix. It's really easy to get funneled up here going down into turn number 1, especially with that dog leg. So watch out for that. That could be a troublesome spot here tonight for a few of these drivers trying to cut the track as much as they can, try to shorten the track. As the checker flag is out here in practice, and we're getting ready to get qualifying underway. So we want to thank all of our great partners here that make this league possible. Of course, we want to thank Shoney's for their continued support. The Doghouse Racing League is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Also have quite a few other associate sponsors of the league as well, including Group 6, Simpson Race Shop, and Fanatics. Of course, Fanatics is a affiliate, or the Doghouse Racing League is an affiliate sponsor of Fanatics. You earn commissions when you shop with the link down below. So you can check all that out down below in the description. As we got our first driver out on track trying to make some laps, that is Jonathan Jennings. Makes his way down through the dog leg. Bear with me for a second, as it looks like my timing has gone away. Jonathan Jennings makes his way across the stripe. He is currently fastest on the speed chart. Lucas Edwards currently in the 2nd position. Here's Gary Mio. Just finished up his qualifying attempt back in the 9th spot. Jeffrey Engel coming down the backstretch now into turn number 3. Again, bear with me just a moment as we try to get the timer back up on the screen. There's the 96 of Baker Knapp. Made his way off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Chuck Cobb out on the racetrack right now. Get his qualifying underway. Ooh, loses it there into turn number 3. That's at the end of his qualifying attempt. Chris Jennings. That's not what I want right now. As qualifying comes to an end, we're going to get trying to get our timing fixed up here on our end. There we go, right at the last second. We got it fixed up on our end, and let me turn off the pit stalls here, because everybody's going to be on pit road. We'll take a look at our starting lineup. Jonathan Jennings on pole here tonight. John Smith in the 99 roll-off from the second position. Mike Hayes and Lucas Edwards make up a row number 2 with the 8 of Steve Gerber and Stephen Bunomo in the 9 back in row number 3. Chris Leftwich rolls off from the 7th spot with Michael Samia back in 8th. Chad Waller and Justin McMahon round out your top 10. 11th will be Christopher Simon and Baker Knapp back in 12th. Daniel Wilkerson and Mark Dumont back in row number 7. Gary Clune rolls off 15th tonight with Gary Amio back in 16th. Then Jeffrey Engel and Chuck Cobb make up row number 9. Row 10 will find Richard Leclerc and Chris Jennings. 21st, back in 21st is Tyler Millette with Andrew Lucas back in 22nd. 23rd is Ty Schoening with Ricky Hudges II back in the 24th spot. 25th will be Kevin Brown. 26th will be Eric Scott. And then that's going to round out the field here tonight at Phoenix Raceway. See a couple things in the chat already. Let's go Edwards and Engel. That's Simoleons. Simoleons. On YouTube, also we see Mike Leftwich says, Shoney Race Team, you beat the 91 tonight. And K-Dog, that's Kevin Brown, says, thanks for the broadcast. Let's have fun tonight. As we get set, I had to look it up for 85 laps here at Phoenix Raceway. Says Matt Daddy Racing has some fast ones here tonight. Let's see where they round out here tonight. It's all said and done. As the pace car takes the hard left-hand turn on the pit road, and that's one of the unique things about this racetrack. Pit road entry is off of turn number 2, and they have to bring the car at pit road speed all the way down the backstretch and around through turns 3 and 4 to exit out near the dog leg. But watch this start here as things can get wild as all 26 cars approach the dog leg. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Phoenix. And who's going to be the first ones to drop down onto that dog leg. You see him already spreading out 3 and 4 wide behind as Jonathan Jennings uses that high lane as he makes his way through turns 1 and 2. That allows Mike Hayes to get down into the inside off turn number 2. And Jonathan Jennings getting the run off that high side and into turn number 3. Hayes really early onto the brakes there. You see him lose a ton of time to that 91 and those 3 cars right behind him. As you see him diving all the way down to the apron off of turn, or into turn number 1. Field making their way down the backstretch. You see Steve Gerber up on that high side trying to make hay while sunshine with these fresh tires. Already up a spot in the 4th. Meanwhile, Mike Hayes trying to run down the 91 of John Jennings. Here comes Steve Gerber now to the inside, getting around John Smith and moving up into the 3rd position. Just behind us, you see Lucas Edwards in that Pabst-Blue Ribbon machine up on that high side. Stephen Bonomo looking down to the low side. We've got a bit of side-by-side racing. Drivers using all sorts of different lines as they come down through the dog leg. As the tires start to wear out, expect to see drivers using that dog leg less and less as we see Justin McMahon already up into the 7th position. Oh, we got a couple around here. Steve Gerber around. He is down on the pit road off the racing surface, so no caution. John Smith involved as well. We're going to take a quick look at this replay here. Smith down on the inside, and Gerber just getting caught there. As now the caution is out on the racetrack. Throw up the wreckage rewind and see if we can see what happened to bring this one out. Yeah, not sure what brought this caution out. Doesn't look like I don't see any incident on the racing surface. Oops, wrong button there. No incidents on the racing surface, so not sure what threw that caution right there, but it's going to allow the field to get re-racked, restacked. As lights on the pace car should be shutting off next time by. So Jennings out in front, your leader since the drop of the green flag. Mike Hayes runs back in 2nd, then Lucas Edwards, Justin McMahon, and Stephen Bonomo. How about Justin McMahon? Gaining 6 spots since the drop of the green flag. Trying to work his way up to that 91, see if he can run down Jonathan Jennings. Those two put on quite a battle last season and the season before, so we expect to see those drivers racing hard with each other up here pretty soon. As the lights on the pace car should be shutting off this time by. Looks like we're going to go at least one more lap here. This will give us a chance to talk about all our great partners, including Shoney's. Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday Night Trust Series is sponsored by Shoney's of West Virginia. Visit them, check out their all-you-can-eat breakfast bar. also stop by for lunch and dinner and check out their strawberry pies. Of course, Doghouse Racing League is also partnered with Fanatics. Use the link below, purchase from Fanatics, and the league will receive a commission from every purchase made. So check that out down below in the description. Also, you can check out the Doghouse Racing League's webpage for schedules, point standings, as well as merch over at the Doghouse or doghouseracingle.com. Link down below in the description. Don't forget to check out our great partners, including Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. Check out our web store over at Intensity Broadcasting and Appearal for all your racing apparel needs. And of course, can't forget about our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products fingertips right for you by visiting thebuttkicker.com. Here we go, Jonathan Jennings choosing that high side on the restart. Putting Mike Hayes down on the low side, down the long backstretch towards the Geico restart zone. As the green flag flies, we are back under racing. You see in the chat, what in the world was Gerber doing? Looked like it was just a little tight three-wide racing, kind of got spooked up on the high side, and unfortunately, oh, we got one around already. Stu Bonomo around well off the racing surface, so he's going to get that thing back around and into the races. He's had some three-wide racing as we see Just McMahon working that high side, already up into the third position, battling side by side with Lucas Edwards. Edwards is going to have that position off through the dog leg, but here comes McMahon fighting back high on that high side, right behind Mike Hayes. See the 13 of Chris Lethbridge right here in the mix, and Michael Samia working his way up through the field here as well. So some drivers quickly working their way through the field. And side-by-side racing is exactly what Jonathan Jennings wants to see in his mirror. Field rockets down into turn number one. Here comes Lucas Edwards. Taking a look down to the bottom, using that apron, trying to get that car to turn. He's going to lose a couple positions here as now he's going to fall back into the fourth position, but here he comes firing back on the inside of McMahon. Meanwhile, behind we see a battle between Mike Samia and Chris Lethbridge. Lethbridge jerking that high side. Samia working way down on the dog leg, trying to get around that 13 machine. As the battle for the lead starting to heat up, Mike Hayes down to the inside. Jonathan Jennings up on the high side. Mike Hayes was able to sneak or try to get underneath there, was up to the fender, currently falling back behind. Meanwhile, we see Chris Lethbridge and Mike Samia continuing to battle it out here for the 5th and 6th position. Now the field starts to get a little bit more single file. A little further back, Chad Waller trying to get around the 81 of Chuck Cobb. Waller going to look up to the high side this time. See if he can cross him over here through the dog leg. You see the 94 of Millette dive down through the dog leg, try to cut the track a little bit, not able to gain any ground on the 114 of Mark Dumont. Meanwhile, Mike Hayes side by side with Lucas Edwards. Hayes, though, able to tuck back in line as now Justin McMahon has run down Jonathan Jennings. And McMahon is right there on the gearbox of the 91 machine. View off the back bumper of the 91. You see McMahon was trying to make the move down underneath, just was not able to do it just yet. Jennings is able to stay out in front for the time being. behind, we see Lucas Edwards trying to make another move down to the inside of Mike Hayes, but just not close enough to make that happen. Christopher Simon up 4 spots, up into the 7th position. Some big movers through the field already. Chuck Cobb. Saw him battling with Chad Waller here. Gary Kuhn right in front. He's already made up 9 positions since the drop of the green flag. Up into the top 10. Another driver up 9 positions is the 94 of Tyler Millette. Up into the 12th position. Chris Jennings. Another big mover here. Up 7 spots, up into 13th. Now the battle for the lead is heating up as Justin McMahon is to the inside of Jonathan Jennings. And McMahon's going to turn down underneath, hold that yellow line, and take over the lead here on lap 19. Jennings is trying to make a move back down to the inside, and McMahon throws a little bit of a defensive move there, blocks him down the backstretch. These two have been nemesis for the last couple seasons, and you see why. Both of them showing a ton of speed right now. Neither one of them really want to cut each other a break, as here comes McMahon trying to turn down underneath Jennings yet again as they go side by side down the backstretch. McMahon has to tuck back in line. Jennings got the good run there that time off the corner. Battle back here as we see Chad Waller now taking a look down to the inside of Chuck Cobb. Waller's going to take that position back away. Meanwhile, right behind, we see Tyler Millette and Mark Dumont going at it. As Dumont's going to fall back into the 12th position. Great battles all over the racetrack here. As Chris Leftwich is starting to run down the 76 of Lucas Edwards. As we work lap number 23, why don't we do a little thing I like to call bumping up the intensity. Enjoy all the sights and sounds here at Phoenix International Raceway. Side-by-side battle here between the 94 of Tyler Millette and Gary Clune in the 45. These guys are battling out for the 9th position. Neither driver really wants to give each other an inch. See, Millette working that high lane pretty well, but Gary Clune keeps using that dog leg down on the low side, trying to get away from the 94 as they continue to battle door to door, side by side off of turn number 2. Up front, Jonathan Jennings put a little bit of space between himself and Justin McMahon. Don't forget, we got green flag pit stops that are going to be starting up pretty soon. I'm guessing right around lap 45 to 55 is when we're going to start seeing drivers coming down pit road. As McMahon starting to put some laps back down, starting to eat back into that lead of Jonathan Jennings. I thought we saw some people starting to pit. It was just drivers using that dog leg. Sometimes it reads as I'm trying to come down on the pit road. Wow, a bit of battle back here as we see John Smith trying to work his way back through the field after that spin. Already finds himself back into the 13th position. Ooh, hard contact with the outside wall for Mark Dumont. See heavy damage to the right side of his vehicle. That was definitely a hard lick. We saw that car jump off the wall as we see the 55 of Ricky Hudges and Gary Amio battling it out here. It's right about that time that the tires are really starting to give out here. We're starting to see some movers through the field. Chris Jennings looking like he's going to lose a spot here to John Smith in that 99 machine. As battles start to heat up all around the racetrack. John Smith is really going to town out there right along with Smith here. We'll take a look at his hands because he was just sideways a moment ago down through that dog leg. If he cuts all the way down here, he will. Try to take as much of the dog leg as he can and down into turn number 1. Working that throttle as we got a couple drivers down on pit road. Looks like our first driver, Stephen Bonomo, is gonna, looks like reset here. I believe he just retired from the race. As this battle heats up here between Tyler Millette and Michael Samia. John Smith down to the inside here. Still trying to battle here with Chris Jennings. We didn't talk really too much about the weather here tonight. Well, there you have it, 71 degree air temperature, 76 degrees is the track temperature. But the big thing is the wind gusts. Winds are anywhere between 13 and 17 miles an hour. Oh, yellow is out as the 6 goes around. Looks like Chris Jennings might have had a little bit of help right there that's going to bring out our first wreckage, or second wreckage rewind of the night. And this isn't something that you can really fault either driver for, as we see John Smith way down on the bottom, and then a little connection issue there for the 6. You see, because he went right through that 81 of Chuck Cobb, so 6 was definitely having a little bit of a connection issue. But this is going to lead the entire field down on the pit road, led by the 91 of Jonathan Jennings. Jennings going to make it down to his pit stall. There's the 99 John Smith coming down. He, again, started in second. Finds himself a little further back in the field than he'd like to be. Jonathan Jennings gets off pit lane first. Justin McMahon second. Chris Leftwich third. Mike Hayes fourth. Christopher Simon back in fifth. Chad Waller, Lucas Edwards, Gary Clune, Tyler Millette, and John Smith, your top 10. And I'm going to say it now, watch this 99 machine. He's been really fast here tonight. Getting caught up with an incident early on. Able to drive his way back through the field. Would not be surprised to see this 99, back towards the front as the race continues. But your leader, pretty much since the drop of the green flag, the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, continues to dominate up front. But now Justin McMahon on fresh tires as we have 45 laps to go. So still a lot of racing left here tonight. We see McMahon starting to warm up those tires a little bit. If you haven't heard the news with iRacing, they've talked about that weather a moment ago. They've enhanced the weather here on iRacing. In certain cars and tracks, you'll be able to experience rain racing. And let me tell you, that is some of the most fun I've had on the sim in a very, very long time. I would say that it is probably some of the best feeling rain I've ever felt in any kind of racing game or sim. So if you're on the iRacing service, even if you're not much of a road racer, check out the rain racing, because I'll tell you what, I was super impressed by it. It's a lot of fun watching the track get wet, watching it get dry. Sometimes half the track is wet. So it's a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll see it be implemented on more forms of racing. Of course, they're not going to race in the rain here on the oval at Phoenix, although they might, because they do have the rain tires for the short tracks like Martinsville and Phoenix. So you never know what you could see. But here we go. Field is re-racked, restacked, get ready to refire. As they come off of turn number 4 to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing here at Phoenix. Already Justin McMahon diving way down on that dog leg, trying to make something work. Jonathan Jennings uses that high lane. He's been right up against the wall here on the restarts, and his car really likes it up there. As, caution is out. Looks like the 20 of Eric Scott is around. Daniel Wilkerson involved in this one. Looks like Chuck Cobb might have got a little piece of this one as well. And you know the old saying, cautions breed cautions. That's exactly what we're seeing right here. as the yellow flag came out. Let's see if we can see what happened to Daniel here on the high side. Oh, it actually started. Whoa. Let's try that again. It actually started out in front here as Chuck Cobb just lost it all by himself in turn number 2. Daniel Wilkerson, nowhere to go, catches the 81. And he goes harder to the outside wall. And looks like the 20 car, Eric Scott, might have been caught up in something a little bit different here. He just turned the wheel down to keep it down out of the way. And looks like he got away with no damage, which is incredible. Fortunately for the 78 of Daniel Wilkerson, a lot of damage to that 78 machine. And oh! Steve Gerber just got put up into the wall. Not really sure what happened to Gerber here. I believe he was the lucky dog. So we'll see what happened to the 8 machine here. As the leader came across the start-finish line here, he would have been given the okay to, he waved around to get one of his laps back, and 47 just came right up into the 8 there. Unfortunately, we see a lot of damage through the left front of that 8 machine. So Steve Gerber's tough night continues. Well, don't forget to join us after this one's over for the SCSRA Intensity Broadcasting and Apparel Truck Series from Homestead Miami Speedway. After this one's over, that's going to be a great race as well. The trucks always put on a great show at Homestead. So tune in right after this one's over, right here on Intensity Broadcasting. Here we go, pace car takes it hard left hand turn down on the pit road. And the green flag is back in the air. Big jump this time for Jonathan Jennings down to the dog leg here towards turn number 1. Jess McMahon trying to use that inside lane to get around Chris Leftwich. Well, we've seen that high lane really prevail as McMahon drives it hard all the way through turns 1 and 2 and gets all the way up to the top spot. Down into turn 3 and 4. This is the first time someone other than the 91 has been out in front. His caution is back out on the racetrack. Big wreck here. Jonathan Smith caught up in this one as he was showing so much speed. Mike Samia caught up Chad Waller as well. That's going to bring out another wreckage rewind here tonight. We try to take a look to see exactly what happened here. A little bit of an accordion down into the corner. Looks like Chris Simon, yeah, gets into the back of the 66. On these restarts, when you all packed up like that, right in front of Lucas Edwards. And just John Smith, nowhere to go. Oh, the 45 gets a little piece of that as well. See John Smith come back up across the racetrack. Mike Samia. Just a little bit of damage there. Everybody else looks like they were able to avoid the incident here. So tough break here tonight. Quite a few of those drivers involved. As I was mentioning, the SCSRA Truck Series taking on Homestead Miami tonight. Tomorrow night, the SCSRA Next Gen Series will be taking on Auto Club Speedway, and next week, here in the Doghouse Racing League, the Xfinity Series, this series right here, will be taking on Auto Club Speedway, which is always one of my favorite tracks to watch a race here on iRacing, especially with these Xfinity cars. We're going to see 5-6 wide racing at times through the corners at Auto Club Speedway. You're not going to want to miss that, so tune in right back here next week on Intensity Broadcasting. While we've got a moment, I want to thank our great sponsors and partners, including all the people who help here with the Doghouse Racing League, including Shoney's. Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday Night Truck Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, or take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Of course, Doghouse Racing League has an affiliation with Fanatics. They earn commissions when you purchase through the link down below, so check that out. All commissions help fund the league. Of course, you've also got Shoney's, Group 6, Simpson Design Shop, and Fanatics as the league sponsors here. As well as our great partners, including Race EPI, Intensity Broadcasting and Apparel, of course, our good buddies over at the Butt Kicker. But here we go. Pace car down on the pit road. And Justin McMahon chooses the inside lane on this restart. Kind of surprising how fast Jonathan Jennings has been on that high side, giving him that advantage. Field makes their way to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing. It looks like a great jump for the 24 of Justin McMahon as they fan out through the dog leg into turn number 1. Now Chris Leftwich taking a look underneath the 91 of Jonathan Jennings. Jennings kind used to be back in this dirty air. Ooh, one car that looked like Millette up into the outside wall as they rocket down the backstretch. And into turn number 3. As Jonathan Jennings tries to do a little crossover here on Leftwich. He's caught in the middle now for a moment as Mike Hayes was taking a look down to the inside. As they go side by side for the second position. Now Jonathan Jennings getting that run down on the low side that we see Justin McMahon get a few laps ago. Right now, that higher lane seems to be a little bit quicker as the run is on these fresh tires. Now here comes Mike Hayes trying to take over the third spot. And it looks like he is going to almost clear the 91 of Jonathan Jennings down into turn number 3. Great racing right behind that. We see Mike Samia down to the inside of Tyler Millette. This is a battle for the 6th and 7th position. As Mike Hayes has almost cleared the 91 of Jonathan Jennings. Less than 30 laps to go here. Could we actually see Jonathan Jennings not even make it onto the podium here tonight, as he's fallen back into the 4th position with 29 laps to go. Jennings, though, looking back down to the inside. He's going to drive it in hard on Mike Hayes here. Hayes, though, trying to fire back up on that high side, as Jennings is going to drive it way down onto the dog leg. Mike Hayes trying to fight back on that high side. Here comes Lucas Edwards into the picture as well. So as these two drivers have been battling it out side by side, as Hayes pulls a little crossover here on Jonathan Jennings. This allowed Lucas Edwards to pull right into this conversation as well. And this is exactly what Justin McMahon wants to see right now, is these drivers behind him battling it out, holding up the 91 of Jonathan Jennings. Mike Hayes not in a position to pull another crossover there, so he's going to stay back, or stay up on that high side. Ooh, caution is out. Looks like it was for Chuck Cobb, who immediately dove to the pits. So we can see what happened to the 81 here of Chuck Cobb. All by himself here, and he just gets loose off the corner there, bounces off the wall, and immediately pulls the car off the racetrack and into the pits. You see a couple drivers coming down pit road. Michael Samia down on pit road, Baker Knapp, Steve Gerber. Gerber's trying to get some of that damage fixed from that incident when he was trying to take the lucky dog. Daniel Wilkerson back on pit road getting damage fixed. Eric Scott. Of course, we just mentioned Chuck Cobb, who ended up taking the tow back to pit road. Justin McMahon's going to lead the field down onto pit road. Looks like Christopher Simon staying out on the racetrack. See Mike Samia, Baker Knapp. These drivers were on pit road before pit road opened up, so I'm not really sure. Trying to figure out how this is all going to be scored here, as they were just down on pit road. Was pit road open for them at that time? If that's the case, very advantageous to be able to get down on pit road before the rest of the field really got caught up here. Jonathan Jennings off of pit road first. 9.73 second pit stop. It looked like he took just 2 tires. Chris Leftwich off second. Mike Hayes off third. Gary Clune, another driver that took just 2 tires. Justin McMahon losing a ton of time on pit road. Not really sure. McMahon have to back up in his pit stall. Lights are off on the pace car. Yeah, Christopher Simon's going to be your leader with no tires. Michael Samia is going to be in second place. He does have fresh tires. Then Baker Knapp and Eric Scott back in row number 2. Then we see the 91 of Jonathan Jennings and Chris Leftwich back in row number 3. Mike Hayes, Gary Clune in row 4. And then Justin McMahon way back in 9th when Lucas Edwards is outside in 10th. This green flag is in the air. Christopher Simon on these older tires, not able to get down onto the dog leg. As Michael Samia is going to pull right around that 27. Oh, big wreck in the back. Caution is out. Gary Clune involved, Tyler Millette as well. It's going to bring out another wreckage rewind. Ooh, let's go back just a little further than this because that's right when it starts here. It's like a little three-wide racing gone bad here as the 45 has to check up to keep from running into the back of Justin McMahon. Gets a little loose there, locking up those rear wheels. Comes down into Tyler Millette. And we see Gary Amio able to miss the 77, but catches the 45. And then after all this is said and done, we see the 47. I think it was a 47. Ty Schoening ended up going around here all by himself here on the backstretch. No, that's a 96, excuse me. Baker Knapp, not really sure what happened to Baker here. Oh, just loses it all by himself here and catches that inside wall as the yellow is coming out. So now we see Christopher Simon making his way down pit road. To the chat we go. We see Let's Go Nap Daddy. Unfortunately, we just saw Baker Knapp have some issues there on that restart, losing it all by himself. And then I love Shoney's salad bar. Always got the diced ham. Yeah, Shoney's has that amazing salad bar. So don't forget to check out your local Shoney's, especially Shoney's of West Virginia. Well, this is getting set up to be an exciting finish. Michael Samia going to restart. Be your control car here and restart on the front row. Jonathan Jennings going to start in second. He is on 2 tires. Chris Leftwich, Mike Hayes back in row number 2. Eric Scott, Justin McMahon back in row number 3. Lucas Edwards, Ricky Hudges, Andrew Lucas, and Kevin Brown make up your top 10. Again, not sure what happened to Justin McMahon in his pit stop there. That got him back a little bit. Lights are off on the pace car. Pace car makes that hard left-hand turn. Michael Smia is going to lead the field down this long backstretch towards the Geico restart zone. So Chris Lethbridge right there on the back bumper as the green flag is now in the air. Great jump for the three of Smia as they all make their way 4 wide. With Justin McMahon way up on the high side. He's going to have to tuck back in line. As we see the 20 of Eric Scott right up here. Ooh, gets a little loose there on that low side. Mike Hayes also really loose here. Here comes the 76 of Lucas Edwards way down to the bottom as Justin McMahon is able to clear the 20 of Eric Scott. As Eric Scott starting to slide backwards right now. You know, Eric Scott has a decent amount of damage from an earlier incident. Justin McMahon's trying to make hay while the sun shines on these fresh tires. Meanwhile, Michael Samia continues to stay out in front of Chris Lethbridge, up to second now with 15 laps to go. As Jonathan Jennings now tries to work all over the back bumper of Chris Lethbridge in the third position. Right behind, though, we see the 22 of Mike Hayes diving down to the bottom of Jonathan Jennings off of turn number 2. That's what Justin McMahon wants to see right now, is those guys battling it out, allowing him to catch right up, see if he can find himself in a position here to make something happen in these closing laps. McMahon again all the way down to the bottom. Working that high side through turns 1 and 2, kind of diamonds the corner, rotates the car down off of turn to number 2. Again, working that throttle. Oh, gets really loose there off the corner. He's driving that car as hard as he can right now, trying to catch back up. Meanwhile, Chris Lethbridge has a mirror full of Jonathan Jennings down through the dog leg towards turn number 1. Jennings right there on the back bumper of Chris Lethbridge. Lethbridge has now caught Mike Samia, and he's right there on his back bumper as the caution flies yet again. Looks like Richard Leclerc and Ty Schoening around here in turn number... Actually, this is right off of turn number 4 and on the front stretch at the start-finish line. Is going to bring up another wreckage rewind. We try to take a look to see what happened here. Is ooh. See if we can see this one from the blimp. I think that was just two drivers just not knowing where each other was. You see the 117 way down on the bottom, and yeah, just misjudgment by both drivers. And that is what brings out the yellow. Let's see if we can see what happened to a little further back here. A little further back in time, I should say. So here's what happened to Just McMahon on that previous pit stop. That's what cost him all those positions. He overdrove his pit stall, had to back it up. I was correct on that. That's what cost him so much time on pit road. Had a almost 2 seconds slower pit stop than Chris Leftwich. Of course, Jonathan Jennings with a 9.73 second pit stop as he took just right side tires. And it looks like that might be hurting him a little bit as he's not as dominant as he was early on in the run. In the chat here we see, come on, Engel and Edwards. Thanks for the broadcast. No problem, Lindsay. Glad to see you in the chat. Jeffrey Engel right here currently running back in the 14th position. And let's see where Edwards is here on the racetrack. Lucas Edwards up in the 6th position. Edwards has been hanging tight up near the front most of the race here. Currently in the 6th position, trying to get himself a top 5. We're going to have 6 laps to go here when we turn them loose. Pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road here on the backstretch. And I think for the restart of this one, we're going to flip over to the blimp view. Yep, we're going to go from the iRacing blimp here, just so we can see all the spreading out here that we're going to see through the dog leg, as I think it's going to get wild here on this restart as we are approaching 6 laps to go. Green flag is in the air and we are racing. Here they go, spreading out all the way down through the dog leg. See Mike Hayes getting a run here on the inside of Chris Leftwich. He's going to move up into that 2nd position. How about Justin McMahon now? Up into the 5th spot as the 13 of Chris Leftwich makes a move down to the inside to retake that 2nd position. Justin McMahon way down on the apron, trying to get a run here. Going to work up to the high side now through turns 1 and 2. You see Jonathan Jennings kind of just trapped back here with nowhere to go. And that caution was a great break for McMahon. He was able to cool down those tires. We saw him slip sliding around there, trying to get all he could here with just 4 laps to go. Now he's going to take a look down to the inside of Jonathan Jennings to take over the 4th position. Now Jennings, though, going to fight back on the high side. They almost go 3 wide as McMahon takes a look to the inside of Mike Hayes, but Hayes able to pull back away as now McMahon's going to fall back into that 5th position. Chris Leftwich has moved up into the lead around Mike Samia. Mike Hayes now rolling down into that 3rd position. Oh, make some contact with Samia there as they go side by side off of turn number 2. Now allows Jonathan Jennings to pull right up into this mix as well. Jennings, almost gets a bump, gives a bump there to Samia as we have just 2 laps to go. Now they're going to be 3 wide as Jonathan Jennings, Justin McMahon, and Mike Samia were just 3 wide through the dog legs. McMahon trying to hook that bottom now, trying to get down and around the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, but he's going to have to tuck back in line as Jennings still runs back in that 3rd position. Chris Leftwich out in front, Mike Hayes in 2nd. White flag is flying, 1 lap to go. As we see Mike Hayes defending down on that low side. Jonathan Jennings, catches the outside wall just a little bit. That allows Justin McMahon to pull alongside as they come off of turn number 2. The battle for 2nd heating up as a big block there from Mike Hayes down into turn number 3. Here comes Jonathan Jennings to the outside as they come down to the stripe. Chris Leftwich is going to get the win. Jonathan Jennings is going to bring it home in second. Mike Hayes in third. Justin McMahon drives it back up to fourth. And Andrew Lucas up 17 positions, brings it home in the fifth position. But how about that? Chris Leftwich getting the win here tonight at Phoenix International Raceway. He's going to bring it down here and burn it down here on the start-finish line. And this track is unique. I don't know if he's going to be able to find it, but you can actually drive the car right down into victory lane here at Phoenix. So we'll see if Chris can find the victory lane here at Phoenix Raceway. So he's going to come right here, and Shoney's is going to celebrate here at the start-finish line. As we take a look at the final results. Again, Chris Leftwich getting the win. Jonathan Jennings comes home second. Mike Hayes in third. Justin McMahon and Andrew Lucas, your top five. Mike Samia is going to fall all the way back to sixth. Lucas Edwards back in seventh. Eighth is Ricky Hudges. Ninth is Kevin Brown and Steve Gerber. Round out your top 10. Christopher Simon brings it home in 11th. 12th is going to be Tyler Millette. Eric Scott, 13th. Mark Dumont and Jeffrey Engel round out your top 15. Ty Schoening comes home in 16th. Daniel Wilkerson back in 17th. Gary Clune takes it home 18th tonight. Richard Leclerc and John Smith round out your top 20. 21st was Gary Amio. 22nd, Baker Knapp. Chuck Cobb, 23rd. Chad Waller back in 24th. Chris Jennings and Stephen Bonomo round out the field here tonight at Phoenix as we get ready to talk to our top three here tonight. Starting with your third place finisher, Mike Hayes. Mike, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir, I do.
Man, what a run for you here tonight. Come home P3 right where you started. Had quite the battle going on there with Chris Leftwich and Jonathan Jennings, Justin McMahon. Talk us through those last few laps, though, because that was a heck of a run and a heck of a battle there for the top four spots.
Yeah, it was a heck of a battle and a heck of a battle through all those cautions there at the end. But yeah, I kind of got put back when what's his name, Justin McMahon, kind of tried to guess the start, but kind of missed it a little bit, and I ran into the back of him. And then a caution came out like right after, so I lost like 4 or 5 spots, and that kind of put me back. And then it was just hard to get back up to the front or try to battle up for the front because, you know, passing here is incredibly hard.
Yeah, it seemed like the neither the top nor the bottom really had a real advantage here tonight. With all the cautions, though, how did that play into your strategy? I know normally these Doghouse races go pretty clean, but it seemed like it was a cautions breeding cautions here at the short track tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we did have that long green flag run. Well, I guess it wasn't really too long, but long enough, and I felt like I was getting better towards the end of that run, so I was hoping, honestly, it was going to go green all the way, because and I'm not good on short runs and all these restarts and stuff. It's just not my style.
Well, great job here tonight. Bring it home on the podium, Mike. Always happy to see that. Good points tonight for you. And before we let you go, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to all the guys out there tonight. It was a lot of fun battling with all those guys. And yeah, shout out to Doghouse. Shout out to you guys for broadcasting as always. It's always a blast.
Awesome, man. Well, it was a lot of fun to watch up here. Good luck next week at Auto Club, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. All
right. Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You as well. So that was your third place finisher, Mike Hayes. Let's bring in your... I almost can't believe I'm saying the second place finisher, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, that's a heartbreak one for you here tonight. You had a dominant car at the beginning of the race. Looks like cautions just got the best of you, got you out of strategy. I know you took 2 tires there on that last pit stop to try to gain some track position, try to do something a little different. Did that end up biting you in the end, or was it just that hard racing out there with all these guys here tonight?
Yes, it was just all the cautions and the people trying to get everything they can on the restarts and not being able to really run the line I needed, but it is what it is.
We had a couple great battles there tonight with Mike Mays. I'm sorry, Mike Hayes and Justin McMahon, Michael Samia. You guys were all battling really hard up there. Talk about the racing though, because it seemed really, really fun up front. The track looked really racy here tonight, especially that high lane through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, I don't know. With the way turn 2 is kind of, I don't know, kind of get sharp coming out of there. So that's the best line that I've found for me to carry all the speed down the straightaway on Expo 2. Running the inside, that just eats my tires up.
Yeah, it seemed like you were the only one that was really able to hook that high lane tonight and make it work. But man, a tough break for you tonight. Like I said, led a bunch of laps, dominated the first half of the race. Cautions kind of caught you out there, and but still find yourself on the podium and a good points tonight for you regardless. So congratulations on the second here tonight. Of course, John, who do you want to thank? You shout out here tonight.
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast. Daniel for putting these things together, and all the sponsors, Shoney's, crap, Drake's Garage, Brute Six, and Fanatics. And congrats to Chris on the win.
Yeah, he had a great run here tonight. Good luck next week at Auto Club. I'm sure you're going to bounce back. I'm sure we'll talk to you again right here again next week.
All right, thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
You could hear the dejection in Jonathan Jennings' voice. The one driver who's not going to have any dejection, that's going to be right here, the driver of the 13, Chris Leftwich. Chris, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, bub.
Man, what a run for you here tonight. What a great race. Kind of came from the back a little bit. Strategy got you back out front, and you showed some speed there at the end. Where'd that speed come from? Because it seemed like I really didn't say your name much here tonight.
I was just taking my time, and I've been working all week on settings on my wheel and other things, and got them all fine-tuned, I think, finally, and I've been burning my tires up, so I was just trying to take my time and work my way methodically through from where I started, and it can't, just cautions ended up falling my way, I guess, and I had some good restarts, and I had a teammate up there with me that helped out a lot. I had 2 teammates up there with me, so yeah, they ran pretty decent tonight. I'm glad they did. But yeah, it was a pretty fast car. I had some issues there about right at the beginning there. I wasn't really comfortable with the car in practice and everything like that. I honestly didn't think I'd be running anywhere in the top 10. But what do you know? The car drove great, and it came to life there toward the end, and I won the race.
Yeah, it looks like you had a lot of short run speed there. Talk about the battle there up at the front. You had Jonathan Jennings back there. You were battling hard with your teammate. Or teammate, I believe Mike's your teammate, isn't it? Mike Samia?
Yeah, he's part of us.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought so. You guys battling hard there for the lead. Just a great run through the pack. Was it the cautions just kind of fell you the right way there for you to get those short runs?
That, and plus I practiced also my pitting and my exit speed, or when they drop the jack and takeoff speed out of the pits. I've been working on that too, so that helped out a lot. But no, Jonathan, man, he helps me out a lot. Me and him practice all week. He helped me get my wheel straight and everything. And yeah, he's a really good guy. I really appreciate all the help he's done for me. And he's also helped out the team a lot too. My dad and other teammates as well.
Well, again, Chris, congratulations on the win here tonight. Before we let you go, though, anyone you want to thank, shout outs you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my dad. He had a procedure done today on his back. He's in a lot of pain right now, and hopefully he'll get back to us there next week. And I want to say thanks to my fiance. She's got to deal with this stuff, and she's very patient with me and everything. And I also want to say hi to my sister. I'm sure she's watching, and just want to thank my teammates for working with me and helping me out, and Daniel for putting on such an awesome league, and also for Shoney sponsoring us. They've been a good spot. They've been a pretty good sponsor for us here last few years.
Yeah, it's nice to see them come back out here and sponsor the league yet again here, Chris. And before we let you go, though, I do want a couple shout outs here. You've got Leander Johnson said, good job, Chris. And Will Basham said, making Proctorville proud. So I just want to make sure I got those shout outs there. So again, congratulations on the win. Good luck next week at Auto Club. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it.
Have a great night.
All right, you too.
So here's your winner, Chris Leftwich, getting it done here tonight in the Drake's Garage 85 here at Phoenix International Raceway. Don't forget to check out our great partners down below. Of course, your race sponsor, Drake's Garage. Drake's Garage, awesome YouTube channel. I checked them out the other day. They do, trying to find the exact words here. They do restoration, mini trucks, bunch of different little projects all around. So you can check them out over at Instagram, at Drake's Garage, or you can check them out on YouTube. Yeah, Drake's Garage does customization, welding, auto repair, building projects, custom fabrication, mini trucks, and more. So check that all out. I also want to thank our sponsors of the league, including Fanatics, Group 6, Shoney's, Simpsons Racing Designs, and of course, Drake's Garage again for coming in and sponsoring the race. Of course, our great partners here at Intensity Broadcast, including Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs, The Butt Kicker for all your haptic needs. Check out thebuttkicker.com. Of course, check out our web store over at intensityracing.com. Also, don't forget to check out the Doghouse Racing League's website over at doghouseracing.com. Of course, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Don't forget to join us right after this one as the SCSRA Truck Series takes on Homestead Miami Speedway. And we'll be right back here next week, same time, 7:45 here for the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday night Xfinity Series. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.